Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Hi, this is Penn and Kim Holderness from the Laugh Lines podcast.
If you're like me, buying anything turns into a nightmare research spiral. But listen, if you're trying to upgrade your phone, I'm about to save you from yourself. Because right now you can get the new iPhone 16e with Apple Intelligence when you switch at your nearest Boost Mobile store.
That is a brand spanking new iPhone 16e for the incredible price of $49.99. Plus, you're getting all the latest Apple Intelligence features like Cleanup, which removes distraction from photos with just a tap.
Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store for full offer details. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later. Restrictions apply.
Prime delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking puzzle toys and LickPad delivered so fast you can get this puppy under control fast. We're talking chew toys at your door without really waiting fast. Pee pads, cooling mat, and peg hammer fast and fast. And there's training TREATS faster than you can say sit fast. And now we can all relax and order these matching hoodies to get cozy and cute fast. Fast free delivery. It's on Prime.
Hello, everyone. I just want to tell you about a podcast I think you'll enjoy. If you're like me, I'm always on the podcast apps looking for something else scary to add to my feed. And this one is called The Most Terrifying Places in America by the Travel Channel. On the podcast, they visit some of the creepiest locations across the United States. They go to a hotel in New England where guests wake up and they're covered in scratches. My personal favourite is the one where there's a church in the middle of the woods and these security guards have to stay there for the night, and it's really, really creepy. There's so many different places on there. Get yourself a nice coffee or tea, pop it on and enjoy. Listen to The Most Terrifying Places in America wherever you get your podcast.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Toby.
And this is the Whispering Woods Haunted episode. In this episode, we are going to...
Dartmoor.
We are. I've saved my favourite. I thought it would be a really good place to start off the 14 days of summer fair. And just a quick reminder that normal episodes will be swapping over from tomorrow with 14 days of summer fair. So all the camping, hiking, summer stories. And that'll go on for the 2 weeks. Really excited about this. It's our first kind of season of something.
Yeah.
You're off with the fairies there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Off with the Dartmoor fairies. Right, okay. We'll get straight into it. Are you ready for the story?
Yes, I am.
On a foggy Dartmoor evening, the twisted oaks of Wistman's Wood loom out of the mist. Gnarled branches tangle overhead, draped in lichen like witches' hair, and moss-coated boulders cover the ground. This stunted oak forest, only a few acres on the East Dark River's slope, is often called the most haunted place on Dartmoor. For millennia, locals have both revered and feared this grove. According to legend, Wistman's Wood was once a sacred druid grove, where ancient priests performed pagan rituals and even human sacrifices beneath the twisted trees. A huge mossy boulder, known as the Druid Stone or Buller Stone, still stands in the wood, supposedly etched with spiral carvings left by those long ago rites. By day, the wood can seem enchanting. In summer, wildflowers sprout from every crevice and birdsong echoes over the river valley. But at twilight, an uncanny hush falls. Locals traditionally refuse to enter Wistman's Wood after sundown, warning that when darkness comes, the heinous denizens of the wood stalk the moor in search of human souls. For centuries, tales have sprung up from this eerie grove. Some say it's the home to the Wisht Hounds, a diabolical pack of hellish dogs. Many a traveller has claimed that on misty nights they have heard unearthly howls echoing from Wistman's tangled woods. The Wisht Hounds are described as huge black dogs with blood-red eyes and dripping yellow fangs, hunting for lost souls to devour. They are led either by the devil himself or by Old Crockherne, an ancient spirit of Dartmoor, said to dwell on nearby Crockherne Tor. So dreaded is this wood that even in modern times, locals remain reluctant to venture near after dusk. One 19th century vicar, after visiting Wistman's Wood, wrote that it's hardly possible to conceive anything of the sort so grotesque as this wood, and hinted at a sacred horror. Wistman's Wood hosts other ghostly inhabitants as well. There are reports of a phantom pack of small dogs, the ghosts of a terrier named Jumbo and his companions, seen darting between the boulders, their wistful yelps heard at night across the valley. Local lore says poor Jumbo died here, perhaps from an adder's bite in the undergrowth, and on quiet nights, the little dog's spirit still scurries through the oak roots, whimpering for its master. Adders themselves slither in abundance in this wood. Some say every crevice wreathes with snakes, their venom more potent here than anywhere else on Dartmoor. Near the northern edge of Wistman's Wood lies the ancient Lich Way, the old Way of the Dead, along which funeral processions once carried corpses to distant Lidford churchyard. Travellers say that after nightfall, a ghostly procession of monks in white robes can be seen gliding somberly along this route beside the wood. These silent ghostly monks are said to be bound to the trail they walked in life, forever accompanying the dead through the darkness. Across Dartmoor's windswept moors, the Devil's Wisht Hounds are the most frightening spectres to haunt the night. Many rural cultures have tales of a wild hunt or phantom hounds, but Dartmoor's version is especially vivid. When the moon is swallowed by mists and the tors are cloaked in fog, travellers may hear the baying of hounds carried on the wind. The Wisht Hounds, also called Yep Hounds in local dialect, are said to roam the moor after dark, a pack of devilish hunting dogs straight out of a nightmare. Their eyes glow red, their howl can chill the blood, and they relentlessly pursue unwary wanderers or souls that stray onto the moor at night. Some legends claim the devil rides at the head of the pack, horns gleaming and cloak fluttering as he urges his hounds on. Other tales put old Crockhern, the ancient spirit guardian of the land, at the lead, especially around Crockhern Tor near Two Bridges. In either case, the law agrees on one point. If you hear howling in the Dartmoor mist, seek shelter immediately. Many a lost traveller has felt the hot breath of these spectral dogs at their heels, only for the fiends to vanish with the first rays of dawn. One notorious Dartmoor legend gave the Wisht Hounds their most famous victim, Squire Richard Cabell of Buckfastleigh. Cabell was a 17th century local squire, rumoured to be so evil that he made a pact with the devil. When he died in 1677, his wickedness was said to be confirmed in a terrifying fashion. A pack of black phantom hounds charged out of the moor, eyes aflame, and howled around his house at the moment of his death, coming to escort his soul to hell. The frightened villagers buried Cabell in Buckfastleigh churchyard under extraordinary precautions. His coffin was covered with a massive stone, and an iron-barred mausoleum or porch was built over it to lock in his unquiet spirit. To this day, the ruins of this tomb can be seen, sometimes nicknamed Cabell's Tomb. Yet even stone and iron could not contain the evil squire, according to local law. On certain stormy nights, ghostly hounds gather and bay around the tomb, and the spectre of Squire Cabell himself emerges, joining the infernal hunt across the moors. Generations of children in Buckfastleigh would test their courage by sneaking into the dark churchyard at night. The old dare was to run around Cabell's tomb 13 times and then poke a finger through the iron grating or keyhole to see if the devil or the squire would bite your fingertip off. It said no one was ever brave enough to keep their finger there for long. These Dartmoor Hound legends even inspired literature. When Sir Arthur Conan Doyle visited Dartmoor in 1901, he heard the local stories of the demonic squire and his hellhounds. He learned how the old folk claimed to see Squire Cabell riding with black hounds over the moors, and how his tomb was built to restrain his ghost. Doyle was so enthralled that he borrowed the atmosphere and even the name of a local coachman, Baskerville, to create the Hound of the Baskervilles, the most famous Sherlock Holmes tale. In that story, a cursed family is hunted by a fiery-eyed dog on the Devon moor, a clear mirror of the Wisht Hounds myth that has haunted Dartmoor for centuries. Dartmoor's diabolical dogs are not confined to one locale either. Far to the north, a granite tor called the Dewstone, named after Old Dewer, a local name for the devil, has its own dark legend. It's said the devil used to drive his Wisht Hounds across the moor at night, urging unwary travellers toward the Dewstone sheer cliff to their doom. Many have reported feeling chased or seeing shapes in the darkness near that crag. On a summer night, when the heather and gorse release their scent and a low mist hugs the ground, it's easy to imagine red-eyed hounds weaving through the fog. But not all of Dartmoor's supernatural beings are so fearsome. Some are mischievous pixies, the little folk of Devon folklore. By daylight, the moor's granite tors and wild valleys are beautiful, even inviting, but wander off the path and the pixies may be waiting to lead you astray. To be pixie-led, or Pixie-Led in local dialect, is a famous West Country phenomenon. Travellers suddenly lose their way, finding the landscape strangely changed as if enchanted. One moment you're following a familiar trail over the heath. The next you're disorientated in a green-tinged fog with giggling voices on the wind. Countless Dartmoor ramblers have reported this uncanny experience. An 1819 newspaper recounts the case of a farm boy near Dartmoor who heard voices calling his name. Jan Koo, from somewhere in the mist. He followed the disembodied calls onto the moor and vanished without a trace. Folklorists note that pixie-leading was often used to explain why people became inexplicably lost on the moor, a place where fog and bogs can confuse even experienced hikers. But locals insist the pixies are real, mischievous, but not outright malevolent. Typically, the victim of a pixie-leading finds themselves wandering in circles, utterly befuddled, sometimes for hours, only to end up just yards from the original path when the spell finally breaks. One Dartmoor grandfather passed down a vivid description. As he crossed the moor, a strange mist descended with a faint green glow. His head grew swimmy, dizzy, and he stumbled around for what felt like hours. When the mist suddenly lifted, only minutes had passed, and he was standing only a stone's throw from the spot where the fog fell upon him. Another well-known tale tells of a man who left the village of Chagford one night and somehow ended up trekking in a huge 16-mile loop all around the countryside, completely pixie-led and dazed, thinking a river's silver sheen was the road home. These bewildering journeys are often laughed off afterward, but on the moor in the moment, they feel like a waking nightmare where time and distance lose meaning. Fortunately, country wisdom offers protection against pixie mischief. Two remedies are traditionally cited: turn an article of clothing inside out, or find fresh water and take a sip. Either action is believed to break the pixie spell of confusion. Many an afflicted traveller has been saved by remembering to invert their jacket or hat, which magically dispels the pixie's glamour. Likewise, folklore says running water, or a sudden drink from a clear spring, will snap you back to your senses. A famous Dartmoor story illustrates this well. In the 1600s, Sir John Fitz of Oakhampton and his wife were caught by a pixie fog while crossing the moor at night. Desperate and lost, they stumbled in circles until they knelt and prayed for guidance. By chance, they discovered a freshwater spring bubbling out of the ground. The moment they drank from the spring, the enchanted mist cleared and they saw the lights of Oakhampton town below. The pixie spell was broken. In gratitude, Sir John Fitz erected a granite cross at the site of that life-saving spring. The place is still known as Fitz's Well, and the old mossy cross stands there to this day. Local tradition even held that on Easter mornings young people would visit that well, perhaps to thank the pixies for sparing the couple or to receive a blessing of their own. Pixies can be pranksters one moment and helpers the next. On Dartmoor they're blamed for leading travellers astray, but also credited with surprising kindness. One enduring mystery is the fresh flowers on Kitty J's grave. Kitty J was a young woman who tragically took her own life in the 19th century, and by custom of the time, she was buried at the crossroads on Dartmoor, to prevent her restless spirit from finding its way back home. For over a century since, locals have discovered that fresh wildflowers appear on her grave mound every day, even in the bleakest winter. Yet no one ever admits to placing them. Legend says the pixies of the moor took pity on poor Kitty J, and they lay the flowers in her memory each night. It's a gentle touch of folklore in a place more often known for its darker tricks. Centuries before these ghost stories took root, Dartmoor was already a land of ancient power. Scattered across the moor are standing stones, stone circles, and burial mounds raised by Bronze Age peoples over 3,500 years ago. In later folklore, the mysterious prehistoric ruins were often linked to druids, witches, or cursed souls, a cultural echo of Dartmoor's Celtic and pagan roots. Victorian writers like Mrs. Eliza Bray popularised the idea that sites such as Wistman's Wood and the Stone Rose were once Druid temples. While modern archaeology paints a different picture, the myths themselves are fascinating. One prominent legend explains the origin of the 9 Maidens stone circle near Belston. As the story goes, 9 young maidens once dared to dance on the Sabbath, Sunday being a day of rest. For this sin, a thunderbolt from heaven, or a witch's curse in some tellings, struck them and turned them to stone on the spot, along with their fiddler or piper, who now stands as a broken pillar nearby. The ring of small granite stones on the hillside are those maidens, forever frozen mid-dance. Locals claim that at noon each day the stones come to life, subtly swaying as they are forced to dance for eternity under the sun. People say if you approach the circle at midday on a warm day, you might see a strange shimmer as the rocks seem to quiver, perhaps a heat haze, or perhaps the cursed girls still compelled to dance. Tradition also insists you can never count the same number of stones twice in a row. The maids won't stay still to be properly numbered. The 9 Maidens' Tale is one of many across Britain where those who violated sacred days were petrified. But it holds special power on Dartmoor, where Christian and pagan beliefs often blended. It served as a warning, not only against impiety, but also against disturbing ancient sites. In fact, an old curse is said to fall on anyone who moves or alters the moor's prehistoric stones. A modern anecdote claims that in the 1980s, a film crew added a fake stone to 9 maidens for a movie scene, and the finished film mysteriously disappeared in the mail, never to be seen, as if the moor itself rejected the tampering. Another landmark steeped in lore is Grey Weathers, a pair of stone circles that, from a distance, resemble a flock of sheep grazing on the hillside. In fact, weather is an old word for sheep, and a popular Dartmoor tale tells of a naive farmer who was tricked into buying this stone flock. After criticising the local sheep at market, the outsider was led by jokesters into the misty moor, where he saw what appeared to be a fine herd of sheep on the slope. In his ale-fueled bravado, he paid good money for them on the spot. The next morning, he returned to claim his new livestock, only to find nothing but granite stones standing silent in the dawn light. The Grey Weathers have lived up to their name, and the sheepish farmer learned to mind his tongue. Beyond stone circles, Dartmoor's pagan heritage peeks through in other legends. The very name of Belstone, the village near the 9 Maidens, was fancifully linked by Victorian antiquarians to Baal, an ancient Celtic or Middle Eastern deity of the sun. While that etymology is doubtful, it speaks to a perception of Dartmoor as a place of old gods and nature spirits. Meanwhile, the granite rock formations themselves inspired tales. The looming stack called Bowerman's Nose is said to be a hunter and his hounds, petrified by vengeful witches long ago. Bowerman was a legendary huntsman who scorned a local coven. The witches lured him into a trap by shape-shifting into a hare and leading him on a wild chase over the moor. When Bowerman and his dogs were exhausted, the witches ambushed them and turned them to stone as punishment. To this day, Bowerman's Nose juts from the edge of Hane Down like a crude stone figure, and at its base lie jagged rocks said to be the faithful hounds. Some nights, people claim, the spell relents, Bowerman and his ghostly hounds awaken and continue their eternal hunt, the sound of baying and the phantom rider echoing among the tors before dawn. Such tales of witches, hares and hauntings underscore the mix of pagan imagery and Christian moral that runs through Dartmoor folklore. Even the church left its spectral marks on the moor. Ancient paths like the Lich Way remind us that remote farms once had to carry their dead miles across the moor to the nearest consecrated ground. One famous Dartmoor story concerns Child the Hunter, a medieval lord of Plymstock. Caught in a blizzard on the moor, Child supposedly slaughtered his horse and crawled inside its carcass for warmth, a gruesome tactic that failed, as he froze to death anyway. Before he died, he wrote a will in his own blood on a stone, offering his estates to whoever found him and buried him. The monks of Tavistock Abbey ultimately retrieved Child's body and claimed the reward of his lands. While not a ghost story per se, the tale of Child's tomb, which is marked by a stone cross to this day, adds to Dartmoor's atmosphere of morbid history and serves as a reminder that the moor has witnessed real tragedies along with mythical ones. Dartmoor's landscape and its lore are inseparable, each lending the other an aura of ancient mystery.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
The old adage goes, it isn't what you say, it's how you say it. Because to truly make an impact, you need to set an example. You need to take the lead. You need to adapt to whatever comes your way. And when you're that driven, you drive an equally determined vehicle, the Range Rover Sport. Blending power, poise, and performance, it was designed to make an impact. With a dynamic drive, refined comfort, and innovations like cabin air purification and active noise cancellation, the Range Rover Sport is built to be as uncompromising as you. Explore Range Rover Sport at rangerover.com/US/sport.
I love Dartmoor. Anyway, I've actually been to Kitty J's grave, and there are always flowers on it. And I've been to the other places too. But it's just so magical. So magical. It's my comfort place. But I like to go every year in like January.
I've been Dartmoor.
You have. You've been a few times actually.
Yeah.
But you'll remember the last one more likely. Because you were...
I can't remember when the last time you went was.
It was when you were feeding you were saying hello to those ponies. remember?
Quite chilled, yeah.
Yeah, it was me, you and Rog, and we went for a couple of nights, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, that was the last time. It's a great place and I love it.
Yeah.
It's just magical.
The
It's-
English countryside is the best, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we all probably love our home countries.
Yeah.
And we're from the West Country anyway, so. But it's great.
That's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed and we'll catch up with you again soon.
We will indeed. We'll catch you tomorrow and then 14 days. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Did you know Tide has been upgraded to provide an even better clean in cold water? Tide is specifically designed to fight any stain you throw at it, even in cold. Butter? Yep. Chocolate ice cream? Sure thing. Barbecue sauce? Tide's got you covered. You don't need to use warm water. Additionally, Tide Pods let you confidently fight tough stains with new Coldzyme technology. Just remember, if it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
Ready to level up your everyday? Quince makes premium essentials without the premium price tag. From quality clothing and stylish accessories to travel staples and high-end home goods, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers high quality at half the cost of similar brands. Shop elevated essentials without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/levelup for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/levelup.